Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Ivan here. If you've never met me before, you're lucky. Here to do a special live tonight. It's a question and answer live. I've got Terry Phillips next to me. Hey. Hello. She's going to be reading me out questions, and I'm going to do my best to dodge them like every politician does. No, I'm actually going to answer the questions unlike a politician. So we'll wait till some people are on and we can get started. Once we've done this live, we'll take the answers that I've given and we'll reply to the post where people have asked these questions, and the ones who did it privately will be able to answer them back as well if we haven't already, because some questions are always easier to answer than others. So in terms of the length of time it takes to answer a question, not hard to answer because you don't want to answer it, it's just some are more in depth than others. You know me, if you've been around for a while, you know I'll over-explain things sometimes, and the cats hate it. So I'm here with Charlie too. Charlie's still here. Hey Charlie. Hello. How are you going? Yeah. It's funny actually. I was mucking around with it, and I had the hat and the sunglasses and everything. I got it on Charlie's face, and I was just mucking around with it. He looked pretty cool actually. So okay, we've got quite a few people on now. So what we'll do is Terry will read me the question and I shall answer it as briefly as I can. I obviously don't want to go into too much detail and make the live overly long. Anything that has to be answered on a larger scale, then I'll do that in writing. I'll write it out. It's going to be a hell of a lot easier than trying to speak it out, because I may lose you if it's a very in-depth question. I don't know all the questions yet, so if I have to take a minute to answer it, bear with me. Pardon me. Okay, let's get started. Terry, what is question 1?
Have changes in the matrix been made to enable faster movement once the restart happens?
Okay, what you've got to realise about a matrix, obviously we're going to fix the glitches. So the movement will be there. The speed of the matrix, it depends entirely on the people. It's not an investment like a mining program or something like that where it's done on investments and things like that. This is a people-driven matrix. It moves as fast as we want it to move. If we all work together, and I'm talking about everyone, if everyone puts in 5-10 minutes a day, we totally saturate the place and we move really, really fast. Okay? It simply happens that way, right? If you get 100 people out of 7,000 doing it, doesn't move as fast. If you get no one doing it, doesn't move at all. So, the speed of it. In terms of the workings of the matrix, though, in terms of it paying out and no one getting skipped and everything going in alignment, yes, that will work much better and a lot more streamlined. So that's cool. But in terms of the speed of an actual matrix, depends on us. Good thing about that, though, because we're after getting people in to Bitcoin Ascension itself, not just for the matrix, but for what we're doing. Because we're not just a matrix, we're actually an ideal, an organisation. Well, we will be an organisation that will be helping the world. So, but the matrix won't be the only thing I'll be having in Bitcoin Ascension. It'll be a one-stop shop, basically, for everything. Everything that's going to help you guys. So in the end, you guys won't be paying anything. If everything works the way I want it to work, you guys won't be paying anything to help save the world. The only thing you'll need to do, you'll be earning, and the only thing I'll require you to do is to get Bitcoin Ascension's name out there. It won't be about getting people in on the matrix. It'll be about getting people into Bitcoin Ascension itself to have a look around, see all the great things we've got. And yeah, you'll earn at the same time. With the way I want Bitcoin Ascension to perpetually earn by itself, and I'm not talking about through the matrix, I'm talking about other devices, other ways of doing it, then that's all cool. You won't have to be paying out. I'll be doing it in other ways. So basically, Bitcoin Ascension will be a place where basically we're spreading the name, helping the world. I want people in every country because we want to help people in every country. That's why I want people from every country and lots of them. And we earn because we bring in lots and lots of people. So in terms of paying out to, help people around the world, if everything I'm doing is designed right, you won't have to pay a penny unless you want to. And we can do that too, where you pay like $1 a month or something like that, and there's a way of doing that as well. But I'm trying to do it so you don't have to pay out a damn thing. yet earn money. So if that appeals to you, then you should be spreading the name of Bitcoin Ascension, because I think that's brilliant, where everyone wins and nobody loses. Okay, hope I answered that one. Next one.
Will there be a second matrix launched soon after to allow for a second stream to push the first through to allow current members to upgrade into a second matrix?
All right, so you want either a cheaper one or a more expensive matrix. What we'll be doing is, after this launch and everything's working right, you got to get that right. Right now, with the price of Bitcoin, because we don't do this in Bitcoin amounts, not cash amounts, we do this in Bitcoin amounts only as a donation. There's no need to bring in a cheaper matrix right now, because right now it's cheapest, so to speak. I know you can get these $1 ones and $5 ones. Seriously, you basically get what you pay for, to be honest. I could bring in a cheaper one, and you may think that'll get more people in. Yes and no, it does. But with what I'm planning, see, I'm not after just Facebook people who'd like to do programs. That's not what Bitcoin Ascension's all about. The matrix is just a method, one method of what we're doing to be able to earn while we spread the name of Bitcoin Ascension and help heal the world. I do plan on bringing in other things that aren't matrices as well into it. I may, if Bitcoin gets really, really high, so it's a bit expensive to get into the current one we have, I probably will bring in a feeder one, and I'll be doing it in such a way, it'll work a little different, where it'll be a smaller one, cheaper one, obviously. I'll get in Bitcoin amounts, so it'll be a very low Bitcoin amount to get in, and you can buy as many accounts as and normal. But at the end, when you get paid out, like whatever level I do it at, it'll be a small matrix, so it cycles through quickly. So I hope this is answering your question. That's when Bitcoin gets very high. What'll happen is, because it's a feeder matrix, it will be mandatory to buy one position in the current matrix that we have, because that's what a feeder matrix is for. Otherwise, there's no point. But the rest of the money is yours, and you can either buy more positions in the smaller matrix, positions in the bigger matrix, or just keep the money to yourself. But 1.004 of that final amount on the feeder matrix would be taken, and you would be registered using the details you used in the feeder matrix over to the main matrix. We would be talking about that to you at the time too. But it will be mandatory if I do bring in a feeder matrix. But Bitcoin would have to go up at least something like, I don't know, 14,000 US before I'd even start considering that. Remember, Bitcoin Ascension is not just about a matrix sort of thing. It's an ideal, like I said before. So, but again, I want people being able to get in. But people can join Bitcoin Ascension and not have to be in the matrix if they don't want to be. If they want to help advertise Bitcoin Ascension, they're quite welcome to. They won't earn anything by not being in the matrix, but they can make sure that Bitcoin Ascension is seen around the world. So it would help projects they might be doing and things like that, because obviously, we want to help everyone. You may think, why would anyone do that? You'd be surprised, okay? And what do you think charities are about? You don't earn anything from a charity, but you help spread their name and get people to come into a charity to help that cause. We're going to be helping certain charities and things like that as well. So people may come in just for that, and if they can't afford to get into the matrix, but they may win a position by helping to advertise. If you can't get into Bitcoin Ascension right now, and we do the relaunch, and we're having competitions for commenting or whatever, one of the a fantastic testimonial or something, and you're not actually in Bitcoin Ascension, but you believe in Bitcoin Ascension, and you enter that competition, you may win, even though you're not in Bitcoin Ascension. In terms of having a position in the matrix, you may win a position in the matrix. So there's opportunities for everyone, whether they can afford it or not, to actually be a part. And all you've got to do is get involved. I think that's very fair. But we'll see how we go. So yes, I could do, but Bitcoin would have to be a lot higher. There you go, in a nutshell. I did what you did. I write a novel, and then you answer it in one question, in like one line. She's shocking. She goes, what's Bitcoin, one time? And I gave her this huge long novel of what Bitcoin and cryptocurrency was. And so she comes back with just one sentence. Oh, it's an online currency. I could have saved myself half an hour typing. There you go. Okay, next question. Am I answering these all right, Tara? Do you understand my answers?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
2 seconds. Lost it because I coughed.
She coughed.
I know. I'm dying.
Apparently it's hot over here. So Actually, it has been. It's been very, very warm over here. I would have got up to 28 today, I think. And they've been issued warnings and things. And if you're out in the sun, just be real careful over here, guys. Okay.
Will paid marketing be done in magazines such as Home Business, Small Business Opportunities, and magazines to grow our membership?
Okay, well, we are doing like a co-op now. Ready for the relaunch anyway. We're not going to do it beforehand. But, and that'll go on certain pages. We've got Alton Pusa, one of our members, who advertises on 500,000, I think, well, you know, it could be like 300,000-400,000 advertising sites that gets backlinked to us. There's traffic pages and things like that. In terms of magazines or radio ads and things like that, I think for us to be able to do that, I would probably have to register as an organisation. We have been in the paper over in Nigeria. Now you may think, oh, that's only in Nigeria. That's huge coverage. I mean, compared to Australia, that just you know, in that African country itself, I think there's more than what there is in Australia or most of Australia. So it had a huge coverage. I did get interviewed for that, and it was actually a pretty good interview, and it turned out really well for us. They talked about Bitcoin Ascension and everything like that. It was fantastic, and that was thanks to Mitt Phoenix. In terms of advertising, like, you know, ads in magazines and papers and some online magazines and things like that, down the track we probably will. Again, it'll be a co-op. I hope you don't expect me to pay for all the paid advertising myself. As I said, I don't earn unless you know, we're moving as well. You know, I don't get commissions or anything like that. I have the first position, obviously, because I created with Tom. I created Bitcoin Ascension, so we had to be first. You know, although Terry said she could have been first. Hey.
Well, I could have been.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, you know, we could argue that point. But yeah, so I was first in that. But in terms of making money otherwise, unless I buy more positions, I won't earn more. So it totally depends on me, and that's why I went with a matrix, because it makes it fair as far as I'm concerned. That's where everyone, not just the top people, get paid. We've paid out over 500, and that's with the glitch. We paid out over 500. I think after relaunch, we probably would have paid out over 600 people, and it'll just tear off from there. But paid advertising, yes, it is something to look forward to, but certain things have to be in place first in terms of being registered as a world organisation to give us the credibility with the mainstream media and mainstream governments that obviously control the media as well. So, you know, we don't want to leave any loopholes where someone comes along and closes us down because they're scared that we might actually succeed. And there are people out there who do that sort of thing. And my first priority is protecting you guys. So, so yes, the answer to that, short answer to that, yes. Yes, we will be, but down the track. Okay.
If we have forgotten our passwords, we will be able to hit the Forgot Password tab and be sent an email to reset it on our own. Okay,
yes, I'm going to be talking to the programmer about that. The reason we had made it difficult right back in the beginning for the new people that don't know, right back, I think we'd only been going about 3 or 4 weeks, if that, and we got hit by a hacker. Got in, stole money, changed a heap of stuff in the back office, like Bitcoin addresses and things like that, and we didn't panic. We found out who it was. We actually discovered who it was and exposed them, thanks to our own, one of my programmers did it, and Jamie Hall discovered who it was by backtracking and all that. They weren't all that clever, and they got found out. And we had all the proof and all the evidence. We posted that. But what we did is we locked up security on it until we knew for sure that there were no back doors open. So we made it so you couldn't. And basically, you know, we were getting support to do that. If you want to change anything, what I'll be checking with him is if there's an easy way to do it. So you'll get a warning if someone does change, tries to change any of your information and you haven't allowed it, like an email warning or something like that. But I do want it so you can edit your own profile. I think you have that right, that you can edit your own profile. I think it makes it a little more open. Oh, actually, it makes it very open. If you can change your own, if you have to rely on admin to do it all the time, there's always those people who are a bit suspicious about that sort of thing, saying, well, if we can't see the changes, how do we know they're not just changing it to their addresses and keeping all the money? Because you always will have those negative people about, or although those people have been burnt before to make them think that way in the first place. So I do understand where they're coming from. I find it, I wouldn't do something like that, but people don't know me. I've got to know I'm not going to do something like that. So we will make it, I will check with the program, but we will make it so you can change your own. It'll save us a lot of trouble here at the support desk. I'd rather have other questions than, can you change my password? Can you change my Bitcoin address? I'd rather have you guys in control of your own accounts and doing that. But that does make you responsible if the money doesn't go to you because you haven't looked after. That means we can still do health checks on Katie Vincent does these great health checks on accounts and things like that, where she tells you, you haven't got a real Bitcoin address, because some people put their addresses in because they don't understand Bitcoin address, they just put their home address in. Sort of funny to some of us, but it's an understand. It's not a stupid thing to do. If you don't understand it, it's very understandable. It says address, you put your address in. So, but you will do health checks, I dare say, still on it, and send out emails saying, hey, check your account. If you do get one of those emails, check your account. It doesn't mean there's something wrong, just means something is red flagged in the way that she does it for you to go have a look at, just to be sure. As I said, always keep your Bitcoin address that you're using on record on your own file. That way you know if it's right or not, okay? So yes, in a nutshell, I want it so you can change all your own stuff because I don't want our support staff having to do all that work when it's not necessary. We'll have double security on that, and also on the coin payments, the API and things like that. Nothing's 100% secure ever, no business is, but we're going to be doing everything we can. So yeah, I'd rather people did their own profiles. Okay, next.
Will Elaine contact us for wallet address details?
When we relaunch, I'll be doing payments manually instead of automated. You'll still, when you go from level 1, it'll do all that, and it'll take you to level 3, 4, and 5 automatically. I won't have to do that, but when it goes to pay you, it'll say pending, and it'll probably send you an email saying you've been paid. You may not have because it'll say pending, because especially at the relaunch, just to make sure, I'll be checking with each and every person to make sure that is their Bitcoin address, because some have changed since we had the closure. Terry herself went over to another system, so she's going to have to change the Bitcoin address, and so that's why I'll be doing it on manual, so it doesn't go to something that doesn't exist anymore for you. I don't want anyone losing money, so I'll take the responsibility at first of doing. But if I've got it so you can do your own Bitcoin address swaps and everything, so once we've relaunched, I'll give you 2 weeks to change it all. We'll send out emails, also have the lives, also have posts saying go in and check your Bitcoin address and your other details, of course. If you're happy with all that, great. If you're not, change it. And then once I'm satisfied that everyone has had a chance to do that, then I can put it on automatic, but I don't want anyone losing money. So I hope that answered that question. Next.
Some of the accounts did not upgrade. Some of these are duplicate in numbers. Will they be reissued a new number?
Okay, so when we went over to start migrating over to the other thing, you saw a lot of on the main page numbers going down and then start going up again. So some people got the same number as someone who was already in. So say it was like 3,500, someone else got a 3,500. So there's 2 people with 3,500. Nothing to worry about then. What happens is the original person with 3,500, there's still 3,500. The person coming in, because I think we were about 4,059 or something when it all, went a bit haywire while they were fixing things. So say that person came in at 4,060, right, really, but it says 3,500. Your number obviously will change to 4,060. You have to be in a line. So, but you are not in later than what you originally would have been anyway. It's only a number, so don't worry about it. You'll still be in the exact same position you were. It'll just say a different number. That's all. So there's no problem with that. There will not be any duplicate numbers, and we'll make sure of that before relaunch that there are no duplicate numbers. I have talked to the program about that, saying there are some duplicate numbers, but Elaine, being the magic lady she is, she knows who came in when, on which date, and so we know what number to be allocating them. Okay. So there's no problem there at all. I did notice with a lot of the new accounts that came in, though, a lot of home addresses in there. So that's why, again, a reason I've going to be doing manual payments at first. But the manual payments will be quick. I'll sit here all day, probably Terry next to me, doing all the payments so she can check payments with me to make sure I don't stuff it up. Because once you do a lot of them, your eyes can get a bit weird. So having a second set of eyes is a good idea. And that way I can just blame Terry if I get it wrong.
Oh,
so.
yeah,
See? There we go. Next.
Okay, Bitcoin Ascension talks about changing the world. We talk about pet sanctuaries and other groups that we can change, that can change the world. I'm just wondering, how can BA change this?
How can BA change the
world?
world?
Basically, yeah.
How can we change the world? By working together, basically. In a nutshell, getting people of the world, all around the world, because it's not going to cost them an arm and a leg. We're not going to keep asking for money like charities do. Now, what we do is we get the name of Bitcoin Ascension seen around the world. I provide, right now it's a matrix, but I will provide other things as well. So you can earn while we work together, spreading the word. I think I talked about this just earlier, where we spread the word and earn money. But I have a way that I'm working on where Bitcoin Ascension will earn money indirectly from you guys. So you're not paying out of pocket. You know, we can still do $1 a month membership or something like that, where all that money goes to charity. But I'm also working on a perpetual income stream coming in just for Bitcoin Ascension. Yeah, so the cats are excited to see, because we're going to help pet sanctuaries. A bear, you're not helping. And how we do it then, you may be asking, and I'm sure you are, is when we have a pool of money, say we have $1 million, just for an example, we have $1 million that's for charities, okay? What we do is we go around the world, different continents, obviously, because we want to spread it around, different genres. So it won't just be pet sanctuaries. There'll be things like orphanages, maybe clinics and things like that in like in the favela in Brazil or in Africa, or where they need these clinics. Even in the US, there's places they need clinics and things like that. And over here, they need clinics really in places, don't they? It's very limited, the medical over here. Even though the NHS is very, very good. So we do that. We have that pool of money, and we see what projects people are doing and saying, in an orphanage, we want to put in a new wing because we have more children. We'd like to put in a new wing. It's going to cost us $150,000 to actually build a new wing and put in the beds and buy the sheets and doonas and all that sort of thing. So as Bitcoin Ascension, we can check out, make sure they're legit, of course. Then we go there with a big, one of those gigantic checks, huge checks that you have with Bitcoin Ascension for $150,000, and we actually give them the money for that project. We could make a media event of it. I think we should, because we need to know the people to know that there are people in the world, and we're just normal people. We're not philanthropists, although we're building ourselves up to be that way because of what we'll be earning. But we just got a bunch of normal, common people, and that's all I am, a normal, common person, get together from around the world, and this is what we accomplished. So we give them the check for $150,000, and they're able to build that wing for the orphanage. We find another one where they want to build a small hospital in an African village area, where it's central to a whole heap of other little villages, and they want a main medical centre. That'll cost $200,000 to actually build. Bang, check again. And this is how we do it. And this is just after we've made $1 million. The way I want to do it for Bitcoin Ascension to be earning money, regardless of you guys, in terms of you having to pay out of pocket, I want to be earning essentially millions a month to do this. And that way we can once we've helped these people, we move to a different charity. We don't stay with the same charities. We go to different types of charities all the time, different countries around the world, a lot of countries, a lot of charities. And we just, instead of just helping towards, like you would with a charity, let's give $20, to help them along, it doesn't solve the problem, does it? But, and Charlie agrees, if someone, if a charity needs $100,000, or if it could be something epic, like need $500,000 because they want to build a whole orphanage building, say in India, for example, because I know there's quite a few orphanages over there, and they want to build a brand new orphanage because it's really, really needed, and they need $500,000 to do that, and we have it. Well, we're here to help, aren't we? We don't care what your religion is. We don't care what country you come from, what colour your skin is. You know, whether you eat vegetables or not, although you should. We don't care about that. What we care about is helping the world and healing the world. Okay, we're not going to do it overnight, but I plan Bitcoin Ascension to be here a long time after I'm gone. Okay, and the generations we help now, the children we help now, the people we help now, down the track, they will grow up believing in Bitcoin Ascension and the people of Bitcoin Ascension and what they've done, and they will join Bitcoin Ascension to be able to carry on that work. It happens all the time with a doctor saving a child's life, and that child grows up to be a doctor because he was inspired. That's what I want to do. I want to inspire the world to want to help, and not just, if I don't look at it, it won't happen. You know, we don't know it still happens. So that's what I want for Bitcoin Ascension. So, yeah, different charities, and that's how we do it. I'm going to be running a pet sanctuary with Terry Phillips as my business partner, and that's what I want to create. But Bitcoin Ascension is not paying for that. We're paying for that from working things like the Matrix and the other things I bring in. The money we earn, that's what goes to our personal project. Craig Smith, the cat got you for a change. Craig Smith doing a Haydock Foundation where he lives, right, for the community. Now, he's going to be paying for, like, the people will be building up for him to really launch it and get it big. He wants to earn from Bitcoin Ascension, from the different ways I'll have of earning, so he can do that, and that's his own personal thing. We won't be helping our own personal projects so much. We'll be helping other charities. There may be where we put money aside to help people's personal charities. So if you have a thing you're starting, like a pet sanctuary or like a Haydock Foundation or other things like that, where you want to start something of your own, and there's plenty of people out there. I know Juliet wants to start a retreat and things like that. Maybe we can have, especially if we're creating an earning for Bitcoin Ascension itself, and it's not costing you guys stuff, maybe we can keep 10% aside for members, where we can help fund those businesses getting started. I also talked to a lady who said in India you can buy small businesses, and the ladies who have lost their husbands over in India, they don't have much of a life unless they have an income they can create. So you put them in charge of the place, they learn how to show that they're going to run the business, and then you just give them the business. So then they're a business owner, so they have potential, they can look after their children and create an income for themselves and their families, so they're not on a scrap heap. It's not just in India, it's in other countries as well, but India was an example that was given to me. So there's lots of things we can do, and we can fund some of Bitcoin Ascension members' personal projects, but we don't want to pay for the whole lot. That's why you're earning money. But to give it a kick along maybe, or if you're doing a certain promotion or project, maybe we can use a pool for that. That's something we'll discuss, and we'll probably have a board of people who from different countries who will be lurking at a later stage. We're not at that stage yet. We're just beginning, guys. And this could be a couple of years down the track. But the important thing is we'll be earning, we'll be building up a stake to be able to help charities around the world. It doesn't ever happen overnight, okay? Just remember that. Nothing happens overnight. Nothing good happens overnight. You have to build it and you have to work at it. And if we all do a little bit every day, the faster we spread it, the better it is. That's why we're selling the T-shirts and everything like that. The money from that goes back into charities and also Bitcoin Ascension. I don't keep the profits, and I don't get the accounts. You guys do, and we just give those accounts away just with simple competitions just to make it fun. Okay, that way there's no favoritism. If you put the work in, you'll win. Simple as that. There's going to be different winners all the time, so I'll make sure it's spread. But if you sit back and do nothing, you're not just going to get an account given to you. You've got to help spread the word of Bitcoin Ascension. Not the Matrix, Bitcoin Ascension. That's the important thing to remember. Okay, I hope I answered that one. I probably over-answered that one.
Yeah, you kind of answered the next one as well.
Oh, good. What was that one? Just
is it that you upgrade an account where you will give money to where you want it to go? So, make accounts and... Okay,
well, yeah. With the Matrix in particular, and the other things I'll be bringing in, you'll be able to do it too. If you want to create an account for a charity or a church group or a school, or to help them earn money to be able to pay for their own projects, you can do that. You can donate the 0.004 and have them go, say, in this case, the Matrix. And as they earn, they get the money. You can be in contact with them. They don't have to pardon me, they don't have to recruit, but it'd be great if they could spread the name of Bitcoin Ascension itself. Not the Matrix, but Bitcoin Ascension and what we're doing. And like, as I said, I want to get these, pardon me, little signs, too much beer, little signs of Bitcoin, you know, proud member of Bitcoin Ascension. So places like the schools and even the churches or any other group, any other charity can say, hey, we're a member of Bitcoin Ascension and this is what we're doing. They'll have to do their own research on us, of course. I don't want them, you know, feeling that they're being pressured into doing something like that. But you can make it for anyone. We've already had members donate to Us New Start Cat Rescue to help keep that going. People have given away their own accounts to other charities. Some have made some for my pet sanctuary, Terry and my pet sanctuary. So some have made accounts for them, donated their own accounts. Fantastic stuff. So you can do that. Did that answer that question? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Great.
When the price of Bitcoin rises to a new high, how will people be able to afford to join? Example, at 0.004 Bitcoin, say if it's £200.
Yep. Okay. I answered that just earlier. When it does get high like that, and it's getting a bit on the ridiculous side, we'll want to. I will introduce probably. I'll be introducing other stuff anyway, but I will probably on the Matrix side of thing introduce a. Once I know this one matrix is working perfectly, introduce a feeder matrix, which will be really, really low. Will give you enough money to, as I said, the feeder matrix money 0.004 will be taken out, and an account will be made for you. So it's done. You can't just take the money and run and say, ha ha, you know, it's a feeder matrix for a reason. It's mandatory you have an account, so we'll do that for you using your registration details. Okay? And we will contact you first anyway to make sure that it's exactly what you want it to be, but that's what will happen. But there will be enough money left over to put a little bit in your pocket and re-enter that feeder matrix again if you wish. Don't scratch the furniture. Oh, naughty. See, I've got eyes everywhere, cat. Yeah, that's Charlie. He's being really naughty. So I will introduce a feeder matrix, but there's other things I'm going to be introducing as well that I can set different prices on. It won't really matter what the price of Bitcoin is. Okay.
When Bitcoin Ascension talks about relaunch, what exactly does it portend for both old and prospective members?
What does it do?
When Bitcoin Ascension talks about relaunch,
yep.
What exactly does it portend for both old and prospective members?
Oh, there's a
what
word.
Does it mean?
Portend.
You know?
Thank you.
I didn't write it.
She's also my wiki. The relaunch, all it is the matrix was running, had too many glitches in it where people weren't always getting an upline and things like that. Not good. We tried to fix it, couldn't. I gave them plenty of time to fix it, and they couldn't fix it. I had 2 programmers looking at it to fix it, and they couldn't. And so I said, okay, we need a new script. So that's what the migration. Now, when relaunch happens, members still have their original positions. Okay, so if you were number 23, you're still number 23, right? If you were skipped during the original matrix and say number 37 was skipped, for example, I don't know if it was. If number 37 was skipped because of the glitching problem, when we relaunch, the number 37 that was skipped will be paid. Okay, we do have a list of those people who were skipped, and they will all be paid. No one will miss out. Okay, so they will all be paid. But again, I'll be doing manual payments to make sure it's the right Bitcoin address and things like that. So, and if I can't get in touch with you, don't worry, you won't lose out. I'll just keep it in there until I do get in touch with you and confirm it with you. There's no time limit because you'll still upgrade anyway. You just won't receive your payout until I've got confirmation from you, but you'll still be going through the system. So no one will lose out. Everyone keeps their original number. I know some people got different numbers for the new people that came in after the migration started, but you're still in the same position. It'll just be a different number. So don't think you're losing it. Bear?
Yeah.
What do you get?
Go and sort that out, please.
I think he's got a shoe or something. So...
Chewing Katie's shoes.
Okay. There we go. See, this is how real this is. We've got dogs chewing shoes. You know, he'll need a pet sanctuary soon if he keeps doing that. Okay, so I think that answered that question, I hope.
Okay, we've got a couple of duplicate questions, so I'll skip those.
Okay.
Next one, will the new site have a double check for when we log into to make sure it's us and not a machine?
Oh, I'm not a robot type thing? Yes, I think we actually started to have that in at the end when it started going screwy.
Black.
And so, I wanted to say I'm not a robot, so we stopped the bots coming in. The good thing about the matrix system I've got, we have had some bot attacks where they've registered like 800 accounts, all with fake crap, not a real Bitcoin address or anything like that. But the way I've designed it, you're not part of the matrix until you actually upgrade. So they can do all that. I mean, it makes a mess, but it doesn't affect the actual matrix because they have to upgrade. Now, if a bot makes 800 accounts, fake accounts, but they upgrade them all, I don't care. I don't care if it's fake because they're still going to push everyone through, but obviously they're not. So I'm not a robot. It's still, we can do, but I've made it so, you can register, but you won't be part of the actual matrix until you upgrade, and that way everyone is safe. I've been in matrices before where you come in and you're already part of the matrix, but you've got 24 or 48 hours to upgrade, and it really stuffs up the system as far as I'm concerned. People miss out, or they get excited because they got someone underneath them, and then it just drops away. Nothing more disappointing than that. With our matrix system, that doesn't happen. You have to upgrade, and that's the only time you'll see them. You won't see them when they register. You'll only see them when they upgrade, and you'll go, oh, I've got someone. And that's really exciting. I always like that. And they're going to stay there because they've upgraded already. So, we'll probably still have I'm not a robot for a bit of security, but bot attacks aren't really a problem. We've had several, and we've just deleted it all and cancelled that IP address that tried to attack with the bot. So that's all we did. So, next.
Hi, my question, can you please explain how the matrix works and the time frame and how many new accounts do you need to move to the next final level?
The basic question is, how many do I need to reach, be paid out on level 6? I won't go into the exact numbers and everything like that. Now, I devised a strategy for Bitcoin Ascension. It's not about actually getting to level 6. You will get to level 6 anyway. Okay, don't get that excited. You will get up to level 6 eventually anyway. What I did is I designed a level 3 strategy. When you get to level 3, so say it was a 2x3, you'd be at the end of level 3, you get paid out 0.12. You use a third of that to buy 10 accounts, although I've heard 14 accounts actually pushes someone else through, so it's up to you. So we follow the level 3 strategy. You need 128 people underneath you to get that level 3. I think it's 128 or 126. I think it's 128 though. And that pushes you through that level 3. You're paid out on level 3 and you move to level 4. Now you'll get paid out on level 4, level 5, level 6 anyway. But I get people, because if you talk about the numbers needed for level 6, it's a lot, okay? It's a lot. But that's not what you'd be focusing on, because we're going to get there eventually anyway. But if you are buying 10 more accounts at the end of level 3, by the time you get to level 6 and everything like that, you've probably bought a ton more accounts, and they've all earned. Now, 0.12, I've got, say, I had 100 accounts, I gave away 50 to people. When 50 of my accounts go through at 0.12, that's going to give me 6 Bitcoin just there. Not bad. Even with Bitcoin being low, that's still a year's pay. 30,000 is about a year's pay, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. That's a year's pay. And it only cost me 0.004 for each. I mean, I bought 100 accounts and then gave away 50, but otherwise I'd get 12 Bitcoin. But I wanted everyone to win, so I don't just keep them all for myself. I need to keep some or I don't earn. Simple as that. And I'll be asking Terry for money all the time. So, you know. It's not about the end result, okay? I'm not trying to avoid the question either. It's a hell of a lot of people. But what I'm working... it's not people, it's accounts. So I'm working on bringing in the next couple of years, you know, between 4 to 10 million people, right? Now, 4 to 10 million people would say 10 accounts each on average, and people have more than that. You know, that's 100 million accounts, you know. So you're going to hit level 6. You're going to get paid out on level 6 anyway. But in the meantime, you've made between 10 and 50 accounts over that time, and they've all paid out on level, you know, 2, 3, and 4, you know, and maybe level 5 and everything. Well, they will have paid 11. And you'll actually make more money with my strategy than just having one account and waiting for it to hit level 6. Okay? So, how fast does it go? I explained that earlier. It depends on us. The more we spread around the name of Bitcoin Ascension, the more people that join the matrix at this stage. Just this matrix. I mean, I could bring in a feeder, and there's other types of programs I'm bringing in that will have you earning passively and everything as well. So, but that's down the track. I can't say what they are because I've got people wanting to steal my ideas, and that's why I don't tell if you're new here. That's why I don't actually say what I'm doing. because already people have been trying to copy what Bitcoin Ascension does. It's not hard to copy a matrix. It's hard to copy a genuine and ideal with integrity. You can say you're going to give to charity, but it doesn't mean they're going to. I know I'm going to. So, and we already have. We've already helped a couple of charities out. So, just with little bits of money, but and that's from the people. So, I know we're doing what we're doing. So, I hope that answered that question. If you want the real numbers, I honestly don't know. I think it's a couple million to reach the end of level 6 now. It sounds like a lot, but in the bigger scheme of things, following the strategy, it's not. And it's not costing you from 1.004, right, following my strategy, just paying for that one account, which is practically nothing right now. You've got the potential to earn absolute millions, right, just with the matrix. Yes, it'll take time, but anyone that tells you you're going to make $1 million overnight is lying to you, okay? Unless you do it on a horse race or win at the pokies, you know, you're not going to do it seriously, okay, without putting a ton of money in first, okay? Simple as that. But from 0.004, yeah. It'll take a little bit of time. But again, the more we work, follow the strategy, everyone follows the strategy, we fly. We fly along. It depends up to us. If that's not your cup of tea, thank you for coming. But Bitcoin Ascension is more than just a matrix, remember that. Okay, next question.
Is there any talk of having a BA product such as an energy drink that we could use to promote a MLM system that we could use to join and earn from a portion of the profits would go towards animal shelters? Sorry, people, I am dying.
Yeah, she's got a horrible cough right now, poor girl. It's been very, very hot over here, so the pollen is everywhere and it's stuffing around with Terry. So please forgive her. I'm not, but you have to. Okay, I'm forgiving you.
Do you want to live to see another day?
Yes, see. Look at the way she's looking at me. Look at me. The way she was looking at me. That's scary. Right, you think your questions are scary. Okay, what was that? Oh yeah, the energy drink. Well, I'm not big on energy. I mean, I do drink them occasionally, but everyone drinks them over here for some reason. Now, we already have merchandise. You may not know, we've got T-shirts right now. We're moving into other forms of dress, such as polo shirts, jacket, hoodies, and things like that. I'm not doing jock straps or bras or anything yet. You know, and Summers products, no. But with things like coffee mugs, mouse pads, that sort of calendars, you know, we might do a sexy man 12-month calendar. You know, it won't be me on it. We'll go after firefighters. Apparently, that they're hot. But you know, we'll have all those sorts of products which we'll be selling. Now, the sales of those products. Well, a lot of it's Bitcoin Ascension right now, so it'd be Bitcoin Ascension people buying. And you say, well, that's not many. Well, I plan on bringing 1 million, so it is many. The profits from all sales of that, but I will be going into other forms of shirts as well, which is basic crypto or even charity type of clothing and cups and everything like that. Exactly. For animal shelters. The money, all the money goes from that. I'll tell you what happens with the profits. 80% goes to buying positions right now in the matrix, right? And those positions are given back to you guys, okay? And we do it in the form of competitions. 10% goes to making positions for charities. So there'll be more positions bought, but we're going to put it specifically for charities and not for members. So it'll be for charities. Not my charity, but charities in general, so we can help other charities around it, so they can start earning that way as well as what we're going to be doing for projects and things like that. And 10% of the profits stays as a pool for Bitcoin Ascension, because there's other things I want to bring in and do and develop for Bitcoin Ascension over the years. So we build up that pool, then I'll have the money to be able to actually do it, because again, I'm not going to be paying for all of that all out of my own pocket, because I have my own pet sanctuary to build anyway. But to develop Bitcoin Ascension, it's just a smart way of doing it, where it's not costing. I'm not continuously asking you guys for money. But also, one of the other things I will bring in to Bitcoin Ascension, which will literally, I reckon it'll actually blow the top off people's heads. Literally, no, literally, I hope not.
It'll be messy.
Yeah, I'm not. We're bringing in Bitcoin Ascension mops to clean up the mess. No, it's something that's really, really big, has never been done before. For the type of thing we're doing, and will perpetually, there's a word, need another beer for that one, perpetually have you have Bitcoin Ascension earning so we can help the charity so it's not costing you out of pocket. So you're just earning and spreading the word. Did I answer the question? Because I've forgotten what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yay! Okay.
I don't quite understand this one, so I don't know if you will be able to.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please give me the update? Sorry to ask you, I checked on the Facebook group and found that we are launching soon. But I didn't understand that Ivan is launching a new plan, or is he allowing us to purchase the other levels directly?
Okay.
I didn't quite understand.
Clear as mud? Okay. We're relaunching the same matrix. We're using a new software that doesn't glitch up. That doesn't glitch up. So it's basically business as usual with the same matrix. No, you won't be able to buy at level 2, pay extra to buy at level 2, and or to automatically buy at level 3. The positions you had, you still got. You're still going to get paid. New positions coming in as usual. You can only ever buy in at level 1. I will not allow people to pay extra because they can to get higher than other people. It's wrong. I've seen it in other matrices. It screws it up and it's not fair. I'm all about being fair and wanting to help the world, not helping a small percentage. As I said, I had a choice. I said this before. I had a choice of whether I wanted to help 5% of the marketers, 5% of the people doing online businesses who can market and recruit, you know, by giving them commissions and all that sort of thing for bringing people in, or I can help 95% of the people who just want to be able to make a living and help the world at the same time. I chose the 95%. In effect, it's really 100% because the people who can market should still be in this because they will make money and they will be helping the world even if they don't want to. It's all about numbers. You won't have to pay to help the world if you don't want to, but you can earn with us as well. Okay, so no, I won't allow people to buy positions higher. We give away positions all the time, but I won't allow you to pay extra money so you can go to level 2 straight away. Okay, not going to happen because that, as far as I'm concerned, that's sort of like helping the rich and not everyone else, and I won't do that. So if you don't like that, that's okay too. I don't judge you on that. That's your choice. But that's the choice I made when I created Bitcoin Ascension to make it as fair as I possibly could. To me, integrity is everything. So I'd rather be able to sleep at night. So I hope that answered that question. If I answered it correctly, we don't know.
I purchased a new position and donated the 0.004, but when I log in, it's a flash of the dashboard and I don't see it showing up, and then the screen goes to the message, donate.
Yeah.
Will my donations show up after the relaunch?
Yes. What's happening is we kept the site up. Now we're migrating the database and all new accounts over to the new software. We have the original matrix, as screwed up as it is, still there, so the site's still there, because nothing's worse than bringing the site down. Everyone goes, oh, it doesn't exist, and they forget about us. That's why we kept the original site up. But we're moving all those people up. We've got a record of them. We know when they came in, when they donated. So do not worry about what you're seeing in the back office right now. If you can't log in, because it says you don't exist, don't worry, you do exist, right? If it's saying, please donate again, don't, okay? It's just because we're moving stuff around, it's still screwed up. Okay, but it still allows people to be able to register and even donate to be able to upgrade. But I will know if you've donated, because I can see in the coin payments when I go in there to who's donated in. And if you say, oh look, I donated, tell me the date and all that, and I go, oh there you are, bang, fine, and I'll make sure when it's put on the new system that, you know, David Clark donated on this and his number such and such, bang, off we go. So don't worry, no one's going to have to pay again, okay? If you've paid, all fine, and we'll be able to prove whether you've paid or not. So we won't have people coming, oh yeah, I paid. No, I can see if you've paid or not. So it's very technological, but I understand it. And one thing I do understand is matrices, and that's why I started with a matrix in the first place, because it's something I understand. I didn't want to start with something I had no idea about, because then I'd be lost and I wouldn't be able to help you. So I think that answered that question.
Okay, this is the last question on the post.
Drum roll.
Why should I think BA the best platform, and how can it secure my retirement life ever? Okay,
well I think I've basically gone through that with a lot of questions. Now, in terms of a platform, how is Bitcoin Ascension's matrix a better platform than everyone else's? It's not. It's just a matrix. Okay? It doesn't do anything special, except it's fair to people, because as I said, you have to upgrade to be a part of the matrix, so it stops a lot of that crap. You can only get in at one position, and it's not just, and there's no referral link, so there's not just for recruiters. Okay, so everyone gets covered, not just the people who can recruit, and everyone else gets forgotten, and it all branches off in different directions. That's the way I made. That's why my matrix is better than a lot of other matrices, but it's probably not the best thing in the world. But the idea of Bitcoin Ascension and what we're doing in terms of helping the world, and when that word, and as the word spreads of that, will bring in a lot more people than the simple matrix will, that has no substance to it other than just making a bit of money. I don't want to just make you a bit of money. I want to actually, as you say, help you with your time. I want to actually change your lives for the better, and the lives of your family and your kids and your kids and your kids, because I want to potentially keep going and going and going. And they're saying, how long can a matrix run? How long is a piece of string? It runs as long as we want it to. It doesn't have to break down. It can be unlimited. We can have 200 million accounts in there. There's no problem with that. It won't happen overnight, but that's what we can have. But as I said, Bitcoin Ascension will not just be about just a matrix and a feeder matrix. There'll be other things, different things coming in. It won't just be about matrices where you can earn. So both passively and by working hard. But we always want to spread the word of Bitcoin Ascension. That's the important thing. We want the name known. So when people see our logo, people hear the name, they definitely associate. I want to get a jingle maybe for an ad one day, a song or a bit of music or something that really suits Bitcoin Ascension, and it's like an ad. So anytime anyone hears that song, they don't think about the person who sang the song, they think about Bitcoin Ascension. Now, I've seen that happen with many ads, some big products like car products and things like that, like cars and everything, and they play a song, and then you hear that song again, you're not really thinking about, oh, I love that band. It's like, the first thing that pops in your head is that ad. You saw that product. And that's what I want for Bitcoin Ascension. I want everyone to remember the product. So even if they see a similar logo, like shaped, even though it doesn't have the little Bitcoin going up the escalator, for Bitcoin Ascension, they'll think of Bitcoin Ascension before they'll think of this other one that has a similar sort of logo that could be completely different. It could be like health insurance, I see this all the time, and if you think about it, you've seen it too, and you've heard it too. Okay, that's what I want for Bitcoin Ascension. I want it to be. I don't want to be famous, as I've said before. And Tom doesn't want to be famous. We want Bitcoin Ascension to be famous. Yeah, sure, they're going to say, oh, who are the people behind Bitcoin Ascension? Well, you know who the people are behind Bitcoin Ascension? All of you guys. Yeah, sure, I co-founded it. Big deal. That's nothing. It wouldn't work just with me working it. It has to come from you guys. And the reason you're here isn't because of me, it's because of what you want to do to help change the world, not what I want to do to help change the world. So, really, just because I founded it doesn't make me famous. If I'm going to be famous, you guys are all going to be famous too, because it takes everyone to make the world a better place, not just one person. One person starts the snowball. It takes all the rest of you snowflakes to be able to make the snowball huge and cause an avalanche that will decimate a village. No, that's wrong. That will we'll move on. But it creates a snowball effect, and we get bigger and bigger and bigger, and help more and more of the world, cover more and more of the world, not with snow, but with love and caring and compassion and resources, so people can actually live instead of just existing or having no future. Gives them a chance of a future. We're not going to give them everything. We're just going to give them the opportunity to better themselves. Okay, so make sure they have food, to make sure that they have education, to make sure they have security and health. We want that. That's what we want. Now, what they do with their lives after that is up to them. We're not going to control their lives. That's what Bitcoin Ascension is all about. So,
right, we got one in the chat from
really?
Barbara.
Hey, Barbara.
I'm curious then. No one can upgrade and get a new account number at this point, right? We have to upgrade when we relaunch.
Well, no, there's people coming in and registering and then upgrading. They will have a number, but they'll be giving a new number before. So you can. You don't have to. I'm not forcing anyone to. But people can if they want to get in that number. Because remember, it'll come in on a certain date, a certain time. And that's how we'll be re-registering everyone. You'll get a different number, but you'll still be in ahead of someone who waits till after relaunch. So entirely up to you. And that's if it works, because some people say, I hear, aren't getting emails and things like that to give them the confirmation so they can log in the first place to upgrade. So, and that was one of the other problems we were having. And with this new system, apparently that doesn't happen at all, according to the programmer. So, also, what I wanted to talk about you know how I said the 5 days to go, 4 days to go, the build-up ones, I know we've got 5 days to go, exactly 5 days to go, because I know for sure. Craig Smith came to me minutes after the live, wasn't
even there.
Yeah, got it, smart, but while I was doing it.
And that was it.
And he created 5 days to go, he's created 4, he's going to do 3, 2 and 1. And they're little videos of 5 days to go, you know, be excited. They're really, really cool, so we'll be using those. So anyone else who was thinking of it, don't worry. These ones are really, really good, and they'll serve their purpose nicely. So when I know we've got 5 days to go, that's when we start hitting the advertising really hard with these videos. 5 days to go, pique people's interest, and getting people wanting to know. 5 days to go, 4, 3. So the relaunch will be sort of like the original launch at the beginning, where we had a ton of people come in right from the get-go. It was amazing. But me, I'm glad I got in early. Yeah, so we've got that going too, which is going to be very, very exciting. And of course, once we have relaunched, we've got the relaunch ads, we've got the thank you, I've been paid ads, various ones. We're going to refine some of those. Remember, anyone who created any of those and they're a bit fuzzy or a bit stretched, don't worry. Don't feel bad about it. That's how my first posts always turned out. You just learn to refine it. We get other people to help us to learn how to refine it if we don't know how to do it ourselves. Okay? So never be afraid to try something. And even if you think it looks like crap, it doesn't matter. You've actually taken the time to do something. So to me, it's beautiful. And we can just refine it. That's all. Doesn't mean you've done it wrong. Okay? It's like Alexander Graham Bell. He discovered 1,000 ways of not to make a light bulb before he made a light bulb, instead of saying I failed. So take a lot from that, because it's very, very true. Okay? So is there anything else?
No, that's it, I think.
Okay, I hope I answered all your questions well, that you understand. And you know, I only answered them honestly. As I said, I haven't gone through these questions. Terry was asking me the questions. I had a brief brush through, so I had a basic idea, but I didn't go intently into every question. It's only hearing it from Terry for the first time that read out to me that I've been able to answer these questions. So I hope I've answered all your questions that were asked. If you have more, again, see admin and stuff like that. I will be doing another question and answer time after relaunch as well, but I thought it would be important to do one before relaunch. Well, Terry thought it was Terry's idea, so everyone blame her for the idea, because it's a brilliant idea, and I'm only saying that because she's right next to me and she can pound me into the ground.
Oh, no. Juliet, this one's for you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. Look at that. I was going to actually launch myself over the whole thing, but there's a fireplace over there and I probably wouldn't get back up. So, but yeah, Juliet, yeah, we missed you yesterday, so that was the smack of the head I deserved for back then. And if you're saying it's not hard enough, so yeah, hopefully I've answered everything. Hopefully you're happy. I hope you're happy. If you're not happy, let me know. And if you're the sort of person who's never happy, you know, you might as well be my ex-wife. Okay, I'm going to get going. She's going to hear that. Lawsuits are coming for me. No, just kidding. I'll get going, and I love you all very much. Terry loves you all, don't you?
Of course I do.
There we go. Terry loves you all as well. And I'll get going, and I'll be on again tomorrow night with a normal thing. We might even do a recap of this as well if there are any new questions come in. It won't be a question and answer live, but it will cover some questions that people didn't think to ask and thought to ask afterwards. So I'll always answer the questions. It helps me with my lives. I can't talk about the same stuff every day.
Feel free to message me with any questions, guys.
There you go. So yeah, see that lady?
Pass them on.
Yep. Look at that. That's Terry Phillips. Yay! Look at that. Yay! Look at that. Yeah, message her, or Elaine, or Juliet.
Now they all feel dizzy.
Yeah. Yeah. With any questions you have, and then that way I can talk about it during the lives. My lives are here for you guys. It's not for me to, hear my own voice. I talk all day anyway, so I don't need to record it. Believe me, do I?
No.
No. See, she agreed to that really fast. Okay. It's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from Terry. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah, there we go. And I'll be back again tomorrow, probably with Terry again, because it's nice and quiet over here when I do them. So we'll be back again tomorrow to do another live and new information and all that sort of thing. So be positive. Keep spreading the word of Bitcoin Ascension because, again, it's not about the Matrix. It's about what we're doing. Get people, even if they don't have to sign up to the Matrix straight away. They can wait till relaunch. You know, that's probably a smart thing to do, especially if they don't know who we are and they don't know who I am. But show them what Bitcoin Ascension is all about. Remember, we're here to heal the world, guys. You know, and earn at the same time, something that no one else does. Okay, so we're doing it, and that's what you should be spreading around right now. Okay, all right, guys. I'll catch you later. Bye bye.